So here we are. The famous glyph bug. Now first of all, let's get 5 yards within this guy right here. Well, not exactly 5 yards. Melee range. I can Fist of Fury. This is without the glyph. So let's put the glyph on and watch it fail. Increase it by 5 yards. There we go. Increase range of Fist of Fury by 5 yards. Look at that. Same exact distance. Doesn't even want to work. Now, same distance. 5 yards would be about right here. Yeah. And without the glyph, you know, if Blizzard is trying to tell us that, oh, well, it works 5 yards past the target, so it would be anything out here. Well, that ain't the case either, because without the glyph, I still hit people that would be in this range right here. So, yeah, the glyph doesn't even work, so I don't even use it anymore. It's the most pointless glyph that they've ever given us. You know, glyph at Touch of Karma should be 20 yards all the time. We shouldn't even have to glyph that ability. I don't even know why. You know, with all the changes that they've done to our class, I don't even understand why we still have to glyph Touch of Karma to extend 20 yards. It should just be given to us. Another thing I wanted to point out is Fortifying Brew should be something that's automatic. As far as when we're stunned, we should be able to cast that while we're stunned. And it should be increased. With the amount of bursts that these classes are able to put out, like Feral Druids, Death Knights, Warriors, you know, that's something for the melee side. You know, it should be more specific to the melee side. It shouldn't work against casters, per se, because casters, you know, they struggle enough fighting us. But this should be something that is definitely on the side of when I'm being hit, you know, it should be at least 30% damage against melee. But it isn't. And, you know, it lasts 15 seconds, but to be honest, it should be around 20 seconds. This would not even affect PvP, or I'm sorry, PvE. But yet they have done nothing to compensate the monks whatsoever. And that's the saddest part about this. We used to be able to parry and have a 15%, you know, parry chance and a 15% chance to reflect spells back. Well, that was great for fighting Death Knights. You know, 15% chance to reflect a spell back to them. But all of that has been taken away from us, and they have done nothing to compensate this class. And I understand we're a powerful class, and they have to be careful in basically how that they are going to buff us or change us, whatever, you know, method they're going to use for us. But the problem right now is our survival against a Ret Paladin, DK Warrior, and Feral Druids being the worst is just, it's insane. It's just horrible. And they have done nothing for the amount of changes that they've done to Windwalker monks. They've done nothing to compensate the stuff that they've taken away from us. And we used to be able to, you know, steal a weapon, turn around, use it on a person. Well, they took that away. Well, they could have left that in the game and said, well, you're just going to mimic the weapon that they have. And when you hold their weapon for a few seconds, you basically do 3% more damage. They didn't even do that. They just took the whole ability away from us completely. But like I said, you know, the parry issue that we used to have where it reflects some spells back didn't compensate us one bit. I mean, they have done nothing to compensate this class. Yet, they nerf Boomkin's 33% ability on Starfire. But they say, oh, well, we're only going to nerf it on PvP side. We're not going to do anything on the PvE side, you know. But yet, when they come into monks, they say, well, we're going to nerf Rising Sun Kick to do 10% damage now. Okay, you nerfed it for PvE, but you also nerfed it for PvP. You could have left it, you know, 20% for PvP, because we don't have the burst. Monks have to build up everything that they do. I mean, I have to build up. I have to sit here and build up. Oh, I got to get that 30% ability, you know. Got to reduce the armor by 30%. That's, you know, another freaking chi I have to burn. To be honest, Tiger Palm should not even use a chi. And then I got to debuff Rising Sun Kick, which, you know, 10% now. Okay, got to build my chi back up and then start, you know, just laying out the kicks. Get that back up, you know. Tiger Palm's down. I got to rebuff that stupid thing. You know, okay, gonna go ahead and do some kicks. It's just ridiculous the amount of stuff that the monks have to build up. And I understand we shouldn't be out of control because, you know, we have these abilities right here. Oh, I'm gonna get away, and then I can roll, get farther away. You know, it's quite a distance to get away from somebody really quick. That is what we are. We're a class that gets away, runs away from its enemy. Hopefully, you know, we've tricked the Death Knight into death gripping us so that we can get away in those aspects. But then here's the other thing. Our healing is horrible. So why not buff Chi Torpedo? Chi Torpedo would be a great thing to buff for us. And right now, its heals are ridiculous. In all honesty, it should AoE heal those around us, sure. But the problem is they need to buff the heck out of the healing on this ability. Like, I'm talking 150% more healing. It should really start topping us off when we're a quarter of the way down as we're getting away. That's what monks are all about. We're about escaping bad situations and getting out of them and basically, you know, going back into the fight. And then we have to be careful and watch our cooldowns. You know, we can't just, fly kick away, chi torpedo away all the time. They're on cooldowns. But the problem is they don't do anything for us while we're trying to escape for our death. There's nothing there. And, you know, Surging Mist, oh God, look at that. Now, granted, you know, I'm 620 gear right now, but basically this is 13%, 14% in PvP. Yeah, I can spam it, but the amount of damage I'm taking will never compensate what this can heal. Ever, ever, ever. Expel Harm, 40 energy. To be honest, because we have to build up so much, Expel Harm should be giving monks 3 chi, not 2. It should really give us an extra chi on it. We take way too long to build up to fight. But I'm not saying we don't need buffs in the damage area. I honestly feel that we're fine in those areas. But when it comes to survival against plate, because they won't nerf plate, you know, Blizzard, well, I'm sorry, but you got your head so far up the plate classes right now. They get way too much love. My problem is with survival, you know. And I'm not saying that we should just survive every single situation, but we should have a better chance of survival. And if you're going to nerf us in the PvE side. You know, when I come over here and mouse over the ability that you've, you know, basically nerfed, when I mouse over this, I should see 2 abilities. You kick upwards, dealing 11,434 to 13,088 damage. That should say PvE. And then right below that, there should be a line break, and the next one says PvP. You know, if you guys do not start breaking out this game into 2 different categories into one, where you can have a group of people in the PvE side and a group of people on the PvP side that could go in and say, we need to change this ability for PvP, but don't worry, other guys, this isn't going to affect anything in PvP. You guys adjust what you need to for PvE, we'll adjust everything for PvP. Every single ability that's a damage dealing ability or a CC ability, you know, you should mouse over it. And there should be 2 aspects to that ability. Because a lot of us players are really getting sick and tired of you changing things for the hardcore PvEers and damaging us, those of us, who are hardcore PvPers. There's no reason for this. I mean, it's 2014 Blizzard, about to be 2015, okay? You know, the game's been out for 10 years. There's no reason that each ability should have 2 aspects to it, a PvP side and a PvP side. So there you go. You know, that's just a few of my complaints about this class. I love the monk class a lot. It's an amazing class. It's fun to play. I've always wanted to be a monk in this game, and I've played this game for 9 years. So, you know, whatever you decide to do, stop nerfing us for PvP. We're already struggling enough to build our chi up, to get our burst out, and then we got to build up Tiger Brew like crazy. You know, okay, 10 stacks, and sometimes the worst part about this, because I use healing elixirs, if I see 2 brew down there and I need a quick heal, because, you know, this is a nice ability. If I see two brew down here and I'm struggling on healing, I pop the brew, or I pop fortifying brew if I have too many people on me to get the heal as well. I'm being forced to use my brew so quick to get those heals off. I'm forced to use healing elixirs instead of dampen harm when I'm stunned, or diffuse magic when I'm fighting a caster class. No, I'm forced into healing elixirs because my struggle to stay alive against the classes that you can't tone down. Okay, fine for PvE, but you know, hey, again, why are the skills not a PvE and PvP side? Why do I not see 2 stats when I mouse over certain skills within my class, or everyone for that matter? But you know, when I see 2 brew, I gotta pop it just to get that heal off because I'm struggling to stay alive in a situation. I mean, I wear leather, for crying out loud. Yes, I have great ways to escape and all that kind of stuff. Fine. But, you know, I have to build up to my burst, and it takes a long time. I have to build up my brew to put myself on level with what a Death Knight or Druid or a Warrior is doing to me. I have to build up to their damage to be able to put out damage that they put out. I have to work up to it. But yet while I'm trying to work up to it, I'm struggling to heal myself and stay alive. And those are the issues with the Windwalker Monk right now. And Mistweaver Monk, God, they're easier to kill than a Holy Paladin, you know, Resto Druid. You know, everything's easier to kill than a freaking Disc Priest. But, you know, beside the fact, Mistweaver needs some love in some areas. But the problem is, you know, don't overdo it for PvP. That's the biggest mistake you guys make. You have a lot of issues when it comes to balancing for PvP and PvE. You buff the heck out of one side, and then you never look at the other side. And right now, you've taken so much away from my class. All I do most of the time, if I'm against a player that's just not very good at their class, I don't have to worry so much about the healing. But when I'm being beat on by 3 plates and a Feral Druid and something else, you know, I have no chance of survival. But yet, they do, and I don't. So, there you have it, Blizzard. I'm really kind of disgusted by this. You know, you took so much away from us, you never give it back. There you go.